Hello and welcome to Fathers and Sons Media. I'm Andrew Rosario here at Madison Square Garden for the 2016 Big East Tournament. It's the 33rd year in a row that Madison Square Garden has hosted the Big East. We'll bring you all the sights and sounds from the tournament. This gentleman right here, Mr. Gus Johnson, is very familiar with the Madison Square Garden floor, having broadcast the Knicks for years. How you doing, man? You look great.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I'm just enjoying myself. Lucky to be able to do something like this for a living, and looking forward to seeing these young men play some ball this week.
The history of the Big East goes way, way back. I mean, what do you remember most about when the Big East was in its heyday?
Well, I just remember the great players, Chris Mullin and Patrick Ewing and Walter Berry and Pearl Washington and Jerome Lane, and, you know, just all the great players that have come through the conference, along with the great coaches, Louis and John Thompson and Jim Boeheim up at Syracuse, Coach Calhoun at Connecticut, Wick Pitino when he was in the league. It's just a star-studded league for many, many years.
You mentioned a lot of the teams. St. John's is in a rebuilding situation with new head coach Chris Mullin. Can they take anything away from this year from a positive standpoint at all?
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, the guys have had a chance, young guys have had a chance to play. So they've gained experience, and next year I'm sure their roster will be a little bit thicker, and they'll have some guys that will come back that have experience in the program, have experience playing, you know, a full season in the Big East and a Big East tournament. So I think St. John's can draw a lot out of what's taken place this year. There weren't a whole lot of expectations, and Coach Mullin and his staff had a chance to coach them up.
Unlike last year when Kentucky basically ran through the whole year, this year it seems like every week that #1 seed is losing. Come March Madness and the 64 teams, is there one team that you think stands out right now among the rest?
I mean, you know, there are a lot of great teams. I think during this time of year when you don't have one clear-cut favorite, you always bet on the traditional powers. I know Duke is going to be good. I know North Carolina is going to be good in the tournament. I know Kentucky's going to be good in the tournament. Expect Arizona to be good in the tournament. Expect this year for Villanova to be good in the tournament. But I think that the team that I expect to do extremely well and surprise a lot of people is Xavier. They have tremendous balance. They have a great point guard who's a freshman in Edmund Sumner. They have terrific interior play in James Farr and Jalen Reynolds. And they have some shooters. J.P. McCure, a kid from Minnesota, can really stroke the basketball, along with Miles Davis and Trayvon Blewett. So I think Xavier is the team to watch.
You've got one of the best jobs in all of sports right now. You're working with the guy, Mr. Bill Rafter. He's sitting over there.
I don't know if that's good for me. You know what I'm saying? He never picks up a check. He's got alligator arms, you know, and deep pockets.
I was going to say, what's the best part about working with him?
He's just a good man. You know, he's fun. He loves the game, and he loves the Big East. This is his home, and he cherishes this conference, and it's just fun to sit next to him.
Well, welcome back to the Garden, Mr. Johnson.
You got it. Thank you so much, my man.
If Bill Raftery was hired to watch someone paint the wall, people would tune in.
Oh, boy.
I know, Bill, I know this is your favorite.
I'm not a good painter, though.
I know this is your favorite time of the year.
Yeah, it is. And as you know, being in the Garden, there's something about it. Even the kids, when they come out earlier than they normally do. This place lends to it, and of course an opportunity for a lot of them, you know, particularly tonight, teams that they're not going to the NCAA, but as we remember, Connecticut a few years ago went in 5
right,
and won it, and then won the title. Anything can happen, and I'm sure these kids are thinking the same thing.
But the whole landscape of the Big East is a lot different than back in the day when you had, you know, the Georgetowns and the St. John's and the Syracuse. Now that's changed.
Right.
Has it changed the dynamic of the tournament at all?
Well, there's no first names yet. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Although I guess they like JT3, and well, that's a bunch of names, but, you know, Jay is right, that kind of thing. But, you know, the old days it was Louis, John, 2 Jimmys, Calhoun and Boeheim, Rowley. And then, of course, Chris, Patrick, you know, Alonzo, DeCamp, that kind of thing. But slowly, the first year after all the biggies left, Syracuse, Pitt, Notre Dame, all of a sudden, they've righted themselves. And last year I thought was real good. This year they'll probably get 5 teams in the tournament out of 10. That's a terrific number. And now I think everybody's saying, well, let's hope that they can continue to do well in the NCAA tournament. and that seems to be the barometer anymore. But, it's one of those things that kids are attracted because it's a basketball conference. And they're starting to hold their own nationally in those November, December games. And that's pretty much the criteria for these teams. So, yeah, it's a different, but it's getting there. They're getting more comfortable. The Gavitt games was a great recognition with the Big Ten playing the Big East, 5 games. That sort of gave them some credibility, I think, nationally.
St. John's has had a really rough year. Chris Mullen's first year as head coach. Do you see them turning the corner next year? What's the future for them?
Well, I think the progression is, you got 2 or 3 kids on this team that I think are very good. Now, they may not have shown it to people, but they've got talent, and now he's got 4 or 5 coming in. All of a sudden, you've got 7 or 8 kids who know how to play. Seema is going to be a terrific center, for example. I think Ellison is going to get better. Malik down the road. Lovett's going to be eligible. And then he's got new kids coming in. So all of a sudden you're comfortable. You can do more things. And you feel sorry for Chris because here you're baptism of fire. And, you're in against teams that are better. The program, 9 new players you bring in, that's unheard of. Maybe in football, but not basketball. But, I just think next year is going to be a real good, opportunity for them to move forward and gain more credibility and start keeping these local kids here because the league, as good as we think it is, St. John's is very important to the league. I mean, it's people like you come here, the media capital of the world, and the people would love the local. New Yorkers, if they win, they'll be there. If they lose, well, if the other team's real good, they'll be there.
Exactly. Last question, and I have to put you on the spot. Who is going to win the Big East tournament?
Ooh, I guess everybody's looking for a rubber match. Xavier, Villanova. Okay. I'm not so sure who shows up that day would be the winner. What's interesting too, some of the lesser lights, Georgetown hasn't had the kind of year JT3 wanted.
Right.
They're pretty good. Just injury and youth and things didn't work. Providence, Bentel is healthier now. Dunn is healthier. He had been sick. Mm-hmm. So, one of those teams could knock off one of those two. So I didn't give you an answer, but I think everybody would love to see Villanova Xavier, but I think everybody else would like their team to win.
Well, I know one thing. There's 2 times a year that this man really loves. One is Christmas, right, and one is the Big East tournament. Thank you so much,
Thank
Bill.
you. I always enjoyed being with you, too. Thanks. Pleasure.
Questions for Coach Thompson and the players, please. Gene, front.
How much of a difference did it make having Bradley back in the lineup, not just on the court, but confidence-wise, psychologically?
It's a huge difference. And it goes above and beyond, what shows up on this. Bradley gives his teammates confidence. And they feel safe when he's on the court. I said earlier, it's kind of like he's kind of like Linus's blanket for the rest of the team. They just feel safer when he's out there. And so glad to have him back. Very, very glad to have him back.
Gene, go ahead.
Yeah. And John, just to get that winning feeling back again after 6
Oh,
months,
man.
what does that do?
It feels a lot better than losing, man. Let me just tell you. You go through the stretch that we've been through. It's hell. It's just really, really hard. But the guys, and it's. I mean, you go through a stretch where we're not winning, but you fought. I mean, it was not every single game we fought, and you keep saying, okay, it's going to turn around, it's going to turn around, it's going to turn around. And, having the big fella back, being here in this city, being here in this building, this tournament, it feels good. It feels good.
Over here on the right, Richard.
Coach, was there a timeline of when Bradley was going to come back? Did you know yesterday, today, before practice, anything along those lines?
After this morning shoot-around.
And was there anything that happened today? I mean, he didn't feel any pain? There was things that he could do?
No, he's fine. Am I right?
I mean, no, but
he's fine.
So after the shoot-around this morning, was there anything that you could see that he could do that you felt comfortable in putting him back in the starting lineup?
No, it's just more so him getting comfortable with playing with the brace on, him getting comfortable with being out there. Our medical team is terrific. And amazing, his words. And they'd cleared him. But the human element still kicks in, and the mental element, as far as BJ is concerned. But as soon as he realized he was okay and could go, then that was it.
In the back, Reed.
John, I know this has been up and down season last month, but I'm curious, what about today's game, other than Bradley being back, shows what you guys look like at your full potential at your full strength?
I don't know. You tell me. It's been a difficult year. There's been a lot of stuff that's thrown at us, starting in the beginning of the year with Acoy and Paul. But as I said, as I was just answering, I think it was Gene's question, and saying how the guys never stopped fighting. They never stopped believing, which is difficult when you're going through the stretch that we went through. But they understand if we get everyone out there, we play well, we can play with anyone. We've shown that. It's, as a coach, you go through the stretch that we're going through, I'll put it behind us, the stretch that we went through, and like you're almost sitting there waiting, like thinking, okay, I know they have waiting for their run. It's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And they made runs, without a doubt. They fought, they competed up until the very end. I mean, Dave's teams have always this year. They play hard. They play till the end, which they did again tonight. But I thought that when they did make a run, I think we were able to answer, which was good, and we were able to, their runs weren't sustained, for as long as long enough to get them right back in it. But you come out, start the second half, boom, boom, boom. We go from, I think it was up 11 to all of a sudden you're up 2, 3, I forget exactly. But that's just, their year hasn't turned out like they would have liked it. But just the way Dave has them, they're fighting, they're scrapping, they're playing hard. I guess it's a testament to him and what the future holds for them. I think it's just how it shook out. I think, and I'm not exactly positive about this, but for most of the year when he's been healthy, that's pretty much how it's been. Some days more than others, but I think it shook out. That's just. I didn't go into it saying I want Jesse and BJ to split evenly, and I haven't looked at I didn't realize that they were pretty even.
Georgetown, thank you.
Thank you.
Jesse Govan, 19 minutes, 5 points in tonight's victory. Tell me about the game tonight.
It's great to win. Big East tournament, big atmosphere, big stage. Madison Square Garden, bright lights. It's just great to get a W out here.
You guys were struggling coming into this game tonight. What did you think was going to be the major factor in you coming out with the victory?
We just had to make sure we played hard, and just executed everything on offense and defense, not let up, not let our foot off the gas, and we did that today.
A Queens Village native, yes, how's it feel to be coming basically back home, playing in front of your home crowd?
It feels good. It's always great to play in the Garden. Great atmosphere. So coming home, I got a lot of people here supporting me. A lot of people, telling me, how proud they are of me, that they're able to watch me, in the world's most famous arena.
Jesse, the team now has a quick turnaround. You're playing Villanova tomorrow at 12 o'clock. They're coming off a bye. They didn't have to play in the first round. Right. Advantage to them, or do you guys think you can take the momentum going forward?
We're going to try and, build off of this game, going to tomorrow confident, and we're going to try and make an upset.
Congratulations and welcome home.
Thank you. Appreciate it.